The rain has fallen today in the south of France, and so too this season has an unwelcome record for the home side. Played 5, lost 5 means this is their worst ever start to a Super League campaign. Can the Dragons get 2014 up and running against one of last year's best performers, the Huddersfield Giants? We can have a look at the sides now, and there's 3 changes for the French team. Morgan Escray is in at fullback. Michael Oldfield and Matthias Pala are the wings. The returning Ben Pomeroy is in the centres. The other centre, moving from the second row, is Zeb Taya, who has been one of the Dragons' better performers in this difficult season. Leon Price and Thomas Bosque, once again the halves. And up front, Mikel Simon, Eloi Pellissier, 2 of the front row. The third is the returning Oliver Elima, 4 games absent because of suspension. Another man returning from suspension is number 12, Louis Anderson. Elliot Whitehead and captain Jason Battieri make up the pack. And on the bench, Gregory Muniz, Lopini Pea, Jean-Philippe Bale and Benjamin Garcia. Their coach, the under pressure, Laurent Fresineau. The visitors, fresh from a victory over the Bradford Bulls, 66 points to 18, make 1 change. They've got Scott Griggs still at fullback, 2 tries last week against the Bradford Bulls, bringing his season total to 3. Centres are Cudjoe and Wardle. On the wings, Jody Broughton and Jermaine McGilvery. The 2013 Man of Steel, Danny Brough, is captain and playing in the halves beside number 7, Luke Robinson. It's a front row of Antonio Kafusi, Kyle Wood and Craig Kopchak. Keep an eye out for the left centre, Brett Ferries. Try score last week. He will be a handful for the Dragons. Jason Chan and Chris Bailey, the rest of the pack. And Bailey's promotion from the bench in the absence of the suspended Michael Lawrence means that Earl Crabtree, David Fayumu, Akuma Tai and Josh Johnson, the young prop from Waterhead, will play his first game of the season. Well, it's been a very difficult season for the Catalan Dragons, and particularly for their coach, Laurent Fresineau. And the players themselves will put their hands up and say the majority of the blame will rest Paul Cullen on their shoulders. Suspensions, injuries which you can't help, but the Dragons really need to put in a performance in this, their second home game of the season. It's
fair to say, Brian, they have been consistently inconsistent. 29 players across 6 games is a huge number, and it's also the shape of those numbers. They've had 12 changes in personnel. But 5 of them, players have played in completely different positions. So they're all over the place. They've had 3 scrum halves in the first 3 games. So there's a reason they've played 5 and lost 5, is because there's no consistency in the way they're working, presumably in training and definitely in match time.
Now, there was some hope, some signs of resurgence last week in the second half against St Helens, albeit a St Helens side that were missing Luke Walsh through injury. But I think we saw enough from the Dragons side to think that with the players that are coming back this week, they might give the Huddersfield Giants some problems.
Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, they've been away from home more than they've played on their own field, which...
Their choice?
I believe so. Whether it's worked for them is another matter. They're desperate, and desperate teams always worried me as a coach. The form says that Huddersfield should win this game. They're conceding 3 to 4 tries per game. The Dragons are conceding 7 to 8 tries per game. But desperation is a massive element in a game of rugby league.
It's hard to imagine the form of the Catalan Dragons can get much worse. They've lost 5, played 5, lost 5, have not won, in fact, since last August in the south of France against the Wigan Warriors. 8 Super League games without victory. But the Huddersfield Giants themselves haven't been the crash hot this season. Great start, first win against the Wigan Warriors, first game of the season, win against the Wigan Warriors, a disappointing draw against Hull Kingston Rovers, and of course that somewhat surprising loss to Widnes Vikings.
Not their usual very good form, a little bit indifferent, but they're not a million miles away. These 2 draws there, so they're competing very well in a number of games. The Catalan Dragons, however, they've only been competitive in 1 game so far, and that was the first game of the season where they only lost by 2 points against Hull FC. So all the form goes with the Huddersfield Giants in this game. But again, I'll just reiterate, that desperation is a massive factor for me.
Well, 2 men who will have a huge influence on the game, Oliver Elima and, of course, this man, Luke Robinson. Morgan Escray, plenty expected of him. One of the standout players for the Catalan Dragons last season. Time now to go to your commentary team. Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, and they're led by Bill Arthur.
Thank you, Brian. It has been a wet day in Perpignan. By all accounts, the pitch is very soft and very boggy. and that is bound to influence conditions here. Referee is Richard Silverwood, about to get the game underway. The Giants in a change strip of all white, the Catalan in their customary red and white strip. The big sign at the end of the ground at the Stade Gilbert Brutus says proud to be Dragons, proud to be Catalan. And the Catalan Dragons have really got to live up to that motto now after the disastrous start to the season they've had. 5 straight defeats. The chairman not impressed, summoning the side home after the defeat by Wakefield. When they were heavily beaten, they performed more like their old selves against St Helens, still lost that one. But coach Laurent Freysineau, speaking to him in the build-up to this game, said there were good things coming out of that game, and it wasn't a despondent camp. They believe that they can turn this round. They could do with some of their injured players back, though, to help get the ship pointing in the right direction.
Well, Bill, they've used 29 players, whether it be through suspension or injury this year. And if there's any day where a player needs to stand up and be counted, it's today against the Huddersfield Giants, who scored 66 points last week. So I think that if you look at Catalan, they've got to start physical, but also they must be disciplined.
Yeah, the Huddersfield Giants, 4th in the table, started to look more like it in the last few weeks, in the draw with Leeds, and then certainly against the Bradford Bulls with that away record win. 66 points to 18, and the Giants did a number on the Catalan Dragons last season, beating them comfortably 66 points to 16 at the John Smith Stadium last June, and winning in Perpignan. So this trip holds no fears for this Huddersfield Giants side, as Brough on the last tackle hoists that kick, and underneath it is Matthias Palla. No Brent Webb, of course, for this Catalan Dragons side. He's undergoing medical assessment, still recovering from the back problem that has plagued him since he moved to the Dragons. They've lost that ball, and the penalty, first of the game, by the sound of referee Richard Silverwood's whistle, will go in favour of the Catalan Dragons.
Well, as Brian Carney was saying in the build-up to this game, Zeb Tate, he's been one of Catalan's best players, and he goes back to his customary centre position, and he's the 7th centre that they've used all year. So if you look at the way that Catalan are playing with big Zeb Tate, he plays it strong, he plays it direct. They need a bit of flirt as well, and getting that penalty will help their cause.
They've also got to show a little bit of composure. You can assume that Laurent Freysineau has been working with his players, saying, look, we don't need to panic. If we get behind, don't worry about the scoreboard. Let's go through the fundamentals, run hard, play the ball quickly, and let's build some pressure in our opponent's half.
Olivier Elmer complaining there because a Giant had a hold of his leg. That sort of offence that got Elmer suspended for 4 games when he got on the end of Aaron Jeremiah's foot. That's a good crossfield kick, and almost on the end of it was Matthias Palla. Just didn't quite sit right for him.
Well, everything was right about that kick, the execution. If this ball bounces up or goes into Palla's hands, they score a try. And when a team's low on confidence, like Catalan have been, they've still got to keep playing like that. They've still got a chance to arm, and that was a very good play.
Could he have made more of that,
I was just going to say that. It looked as though he were more worried about seeing whether Huddersfield would catch it and then maybe tackling that player, but it's a cautious, apprehensive start from Catalan Dragons. It's not mistake-ridden, which has been the tale for the last month or so.
They've got every right to be cautious and apprehensive after the outburst from their chairman post-Wakefield when he summoned them home. And as a result, Webb was, as I said, sent for a medical assessment. And Jamil Fakir has left the club. Didn't want to play in the reserves.
Do you know what's been impressive about Catalan's start? They're getting up really quick. The line speed is very good. They're stopping the big men. That's a man you've got to stop.
Brough's gone for a 40-20. Oh, and it just sticks on this very wet pitch, allowing Escaré to pick it up.
And that's why, Bill, you must control every tackle from Huddersfield, because you can't allow them to get a quick play of the ball. If you do, you can't give the time for Danny Brough to place a kick exactly where he wants it on the pitch.
The crowd not as big as we're used to. Oof, that looked... Craig Kopczak was trailing a high shot there.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield trying to meet fire with fire, and it was great footwork that just avoided that contact.
Leon Price. And Catalan with Zeb Tyre making a good start here. Price will hoist this one. Doesn't get much forward direction on the ball, and it's well taken. by Griggs.
Well, he's one of the best, Griggs, in those sorts of plays. He doesn't take his eyes ever off the ball. He's got to make sure that he looks up, he focuses. He knew that the Catalan players were pushing really strong, chasing that good kick from Leon Price.
Giants' first opportunity to assess this Catalan Dragons defence, which hasn't been in great shape. Robinson, Brough. Ferris is tackled, says referee Silverwood, just on the Catalan 40-metre line. Brough hoists this one again. And they're testing Matthias Palla, and Palla under pressure from McGilvray, and it'll be a goal line dropout. Great kick. A good chase by McGilvray.
Well, maybe that answers our question up the other end of the field, why Palla didn't take that ball, didn't pouch it. Wet and windy. He let it bounce, got it in the end, and they're going to have to absorb a little bit of pressure. And just in that previous set of 6, Brett Ferris, the ever-impressive Brett Ferris, he ran and got a short pass off his halfback. I think he's going to give Thomas Bosch a torrid time this afternoon. That's his speciality, running and making those good gameplay and good game changes, making them do some extra defence.
Here is Leroy Cudjoe now for the Giants. Had a really good World Cup for England. Growing in stature in this Giants side. Didn't like the challenge there from Louis Anderson. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the ball had been played. Brough, stepping away beautifully there and making the opportunity out wide for Jody Broughton. And Broughton trying to use all his strength to get there. He's stopped just short of the try line, is Jody Broughton, going from it from short range and held up.
Well, that ball needed to go out. It was Joe Wardle getting on the back of the play, the ball from Jody Broughton. The ball needed to go wide. They had numbers.
Here is Brough. Brough, little stab kick through. Oh, and Robinson just slipped at the last minute. Protest to the referee, but I think he just lost his footing. Anderson dots the ball down.
Well, I think this might be a crucial blunder. I think Anderson puts it down, and when Louis Anderson puts it down, he lets go of it. I think this is a try, Bill.
Let's just have a look at this. The video ref is Thierry Alibert, the controller of referees now in France. He's got the job of assessing this one.
It's where he grounds the ball.
Well, that's
Does he ground the ball before the line?
And then rolls it back.
Yeah.
Cudjoe very alert to the situation.
There's centimetres in this. I'm going to go a try. What do you say?
I think he grounds it on the line.
Waiting for, and there's the decision. Try is refused. Goal line dropout. Louis Anderson breathes a huge sigh of relief.
Well, he gets away with that. It's only the defence from Huddersfield that actually pushes him back, and his control over the ball makes him push the ball onto the line. So that's a get out of jail for Louis Anderson and the Catalan side.
But the Giants putting the pressure on. Wardle denied, held up over the line, and then Louis Anderson getting out of jail there. Here is Jermaine McGilvray, top try scorer in Super League so far this season. 6 tries, but the others are chasing him. Ryan Hall catching up with his hat-trick on Friday night.
Release now, Louis!
Hall, one of a number of players on 5 tries so far this season.
Keep the knee out, Aloy. 3, release Elliott!
Chris Bailey, tackled 20 metres out. Here is Brough. Brough, Wardle now, menacing for the Huddersfield Giants. Griggs, Brough once more. And Brough, short ball, but good defence this time. Stopping Bailey. Kyle Wood now. Wood. Ferris pops it out. That ball went forward.
And a good examination of the Catalan Dragons early on. Huddersfield having a crack at them. And there's a penalty.
That was a poor play on the last tackle, though, Barry, wasn't it?
It was. I think the left edge of Huddersfield have had a look during the week. and they reckon that the right side of Catalan, I think we'll see that more and more. I think it's a special for Huddersfield, and Brett Ferris, who's a tremendous rugby player and in great form early on, so early on in the season. You just look outside Pomeroy, Tez, and Joe Wardle's through. Joe Wardle jammed in, if you remember, on that set to 6 before.
So Catalan withstanding that spell of pressure from the Huddersfield Giants.
Go. Come on, Craig, straight up.
Giants looking to build on that big win over Bradford last time out.
Help!
Oh, that ball's been lost in the tackle there. And it's a knock-on this time, says the referee.
Well, this won't help the confidence from Catalan. They've had to drop the ball out on 2 occasions, and now when they're bringing the ball away, they just lose it.
I think that might have been stripped.
Still
Kyle Wood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he still lost possession. Whether the ball was stripped or he needed to have a better control over it, you must make sure that there's no 50-50 calls. And that was a 50-50 call that's gone against them.
A wet, windy day in Perpignan. I hope none of the Huddersfield fans have turned up in their flip-flops and shorts on an occasion like this. You can get caught out in Perpignan. Think you're going to the Mediterranean and going to get some sunshine, and then you just get rain and wind. Isn't that true?
Yes, it is. Isn't this... Is this what... Oh, it's on. It's on.
Well, Pomeroy has come in, as he's done a few times already. He's absolutely bushwhacked Brett Ferris.
Well, did Brett Ferris go to pass the ball? So therefore, that should be Huddersfield's ball. It's come off Pomeroy, so Huddersfield should have head and feed, and the referee has given it to Catalan.
There's a bit of afters as well.
Yeah, it was Jason Buttieri. That was unnecessary, just taunting Brett Ferris.
Well, referee Richard Silverwood, he's changed his mind now. The touch judge came on and told him exactly what's gone on. Well, they've been tested, Catalan, haven't they? 4 sets of 6 in their half now. Oh, this is the 4th one they must defend.
20.
So Huddersfield get head and feed at the scrum eventually. And they are dominating possession at the moment.
Release now! Go!
Is Jason Chan playing the ball smartly. Kyle Wood, Robinson, short pass from Robinson. Bailey on the charge. Ferris it is, I beg your pardon. Kyle Wood now. Robinson comes back infield.
3, move now, back
Catalan
up,
defending
right,
desperately as Bailey. It is him this time. Wood. Brough. That looked forward-ish from Brough to Wardle. 4 tackles gone. Short ball finds Kopjak. And Kopjak is wrapped up by the Catalan defence, holding firm at the moment, the Dragons, but they're right on their own try line and under pressure once again as Brough fires the pass, doesn't come off, and it's gone backwards, says the referee, and Brough hacks it away, and the chase is on now, and Brough eventually drops on it, and Catalan will have it on the halfway line. Well, a catalogue of bad decisions probably there.
Well, that kick from Huddersfield needed to place the kick, and none of the players were expecting it. They were pushing through, thinking it was going to be a little chip before or behind the line, and all of a sudden now they're 40 metres from their line.
Getting tasty. Catalan desperate to halt their losing streak, anxious for a big performance here.
Kafous is throwing it about.
He is throwing it about. Players.
Collateral damage.
Whitehead, Wardle, former Bradford colleagues, very quickly in his face, and here goes Eloy Pelissier. And Pelissier wasn't tackled, gets to his feet. Broughton eventually makes sure he is. And then Grix throws Pelissier to the ground. That's going to be another Dragons penalty. Richard Silverwood has got it all on at the moment.
He has to control ball for these sides, both playing very aggressively, whether they're defending or got the ball, but I'm not sure what Scott Griggs was thinking here. Does he milk it?
Tell you what, Scott Griggs looks like a character from the excellent True Detective series on Sky Atlantic. Something from Louisiana, very menacing. Catch it if you can, it's a great series.
Either that or something out of the film 300. I think Louis Anderson is Leonidas himself.
Release now!
So Catalan right in front of those posts. Buttieri desperate to get to his feet. Pelissier keeping the ball alive. Huddersfield Giants defence keeping their discipline.
Chill. Up now,
And keeping the Dragons at bay at the moment.
Go, 2.
Only the second opportunity, really, the Dragons have had so far to examine this Huddersfield Giants
3,
defence.
Craig, move!
Mikel Simon getting more game time since the departure of Remy Casti for Sydney. Here's Whitehead. Whitehead thought about getting the ball round the corner. Oh, he's pulled to the ground there by Brough. Brough doesn't agree. The Giants have got to watch out here.
Yeah, that's a good play from Elliot Whitehead, because he's picked Danny Brough out straight away. Big man on little man, and all of a sudden his urgency to play the ball has earned another penalty.
Mikel Simon once more.
Hold.
Huddersfield back on their own try line.
Go, 1.
Buttieri, short pass, and Louis Anderson trying to get to the try line, can't quite get there.
Go, 2.
Pellissier, busy, fires the pass in. And Elmer just manages to keep a hold of it behind his head.
Rolled it round his back.
Oh, and they're in here. Zeb Tyre will get the first try of the game in Perpignan, and he takes it round behind the post, flirting with the whitewash. And Zeb Tyre lifts the spirits of the Catalan supporters with his third try of this campaign. And Huddersfield disappointed with that sequence there that saw them concede penalties and then this try.
Well, a couple of back-to-back penalties for the Catalan side. If they can build enough pressure and camp down near Huddersfield line, they can score a try like Zeb Taylor does. You see that here does ever so well to keep hold of that ball. He wasn't very happy with the tackle from Griggs, but he plays the ball, it comes out wide, and Zeb Taylor comes in. Leroy Cudjoe picks the wrong man, leaves a gaping hole. And this is a good start. You could got to say from the Catalan players, they are all aiming up, they are all putting themselves where the action is, and they're all supporting each other. Good start from Catalan.
And Huddersfield paying the price for that indiscipline that cost them those successive penalties, and it started up at the other end of the pitch, didn't it?
There's a little bit going on, the verbals, the pushing, the shoving, but it means something to these Catalan players. They're under pressure. You can assume that performances with a bit of grit in them, they're backing the coach and they're saying, we might be down, but we're not out yet.
Thomas Bosk has kicked 6 goals so far this season. This should be number 7 from bang in front of these posts. And the Dragons, this will give them a bit of confidence. Taking a 6-0 lead at the Stade Gilbert Brutus.
Well, Zeb Taylor, the Cook Islander, has played his rugby so far in the pack, and I thought when he was named in the centre it might have taken away a little bit from his game, but he's a great line runner. He gets on the edge, gets on the outside shoulder of a player, and he's too strong, too big and too smart to be handled from that distance. I agree with you, Tez. It's a great start from the Dragons.
Message will probably go out from the Giants just to rein in the discipline a little bit. But that's a good run from Matthias Palla from the kickoff. And here is Olivier Elmer, restored then to this Catalan Dragons side after his 4-game suspension. Brett Ferris could have been penalised, but Richard Silverwood, I'm going to have to stop calling him Richard Silverwood. Richard Silverwood was aware of what was going on there, and he said diving to Elmer.
Yeah, this is good play from Catalan. They've just scored a try. They've got to complete this set of 6. Nothing too fancy. Good play from Leon Price.
Nothing too fancy was a lovely step from Leon Price.
He's just playing through the line. He's got support, and they are playing for each other, Bill.
And Bosk puts the kick in. It's a good one in behind Griggs. And now here's McGilvray. Goes to ground quickly.
Whatever the mindset of the Catalan players, even if something goes against them, they can't change the way that they're going into this game, because they are starting well, they're turning up for each other. Whether they're defending or attacking, they're getting numbers in, they're slowing Huddersfield down, because they know if there is a quick play of the ball, the likes of Danny Brough and Luke Robinson will exploit that.
Here is Kopczak now, the Welsh international captain, Craig Kopczak. Kyle Wood, Danny Brough, doesn't go for the 40-20, just belts this ball downfield, and there is Morgan Escaray. Also there is Matthias Palla. It's Palla who eventually picks it up. Just a little bit of hesitation between those two.
Well, if you say anything about the negative part of Catalan's play. He must catch them balls on the full, because that ball was coming down. Even if it was getting caught high up in the wind, Morgan Escaré could have done a better job of catching that ball.
Here is Cudjoe for the Giants now. Round the neck.
And it was, Bill. And it was. And I have to say it, and the Giants are renowned for their middle unit, the big men in the middle. They've gained the yards, earned the territory, that give the halves and the pivots something to play off. I think that Catalan are getting the better of their opponents today.
They're getting caned in this penalty count. And referee Richard Silverwood has called over Danny Brough, and I think he's giving the Giants captain the warning. So next one's in the sin bin.
The penalties are warranted. The penalties are warranted. You can't complain, really. Richard Silverwood's doing a fantastic game. He's letting it flow as much as he can, because you've got two very aggressive sides. But if that's a penalty, you've got to give it.
Only Catalan's second home game of the season, and they want to give their supporters something to cheer about after this miserable start to the season. So Huddersfield have got a job on here, certainly early on, with the Dragons fired up. Pellissier. Socks round his ankles now, customary. Here's Escaré. Escaré trying to get away from Joe Wardle. Wardle having none of it for the Giants. Ferris there as well to complete the tackle. Boss now. Ellimer, beg your pardon. Thierry again. They could be in once more with Anderson, and Anderson, has he got a second try? This could be another decision for Thierry Alibert, whether Louis Anderson got that ball down. Had a troubled start to the season, Louis Anderson.
Bill, I don't think there's a problem with this. He spins round out the tackle. Oh, he does. He does. Well, he spins over, he's doing everything right, and then just does he lose the ball there? Well, this is a big call. He comes onto this ball ever so well. He gets rid of Griggs, and just as he's turning over, going to slam the ball down over the try line,
his hand slips off.
Yeah, I think the fact that he has another go at it means that he's in some doubt whether he's got downward pressure. Watch as he tries to get it down. For me, there's a fumble, and then
it's just there, isn't it?
It's the reaction of Louis Anderson that gives it away. He tries to have another go at it here.
There, it just comes out. Well, all the build-up play from Catalan was absolutely fantastic. The short little run around, a big forward coming steaming onto that ball.
No try.
Yeah.
No, it's a no try, and I'm going to reinforce the point that I was making. Huddersfield have got 4 big men on the bench. They've got 4 forwards on the bench. I think you might see some of those rotated very, very shortly.
Thierry Alibert having another look. While this has been going on, Richard Silverwood has just had a word off the camera with Danny Brough, because there's a lot of chat going on. Giants a bit frustrated by what's happened so far.
And he's not one for keeping his opinions to himself, Danny Brough, as well. They need his leadership, they need his composure. Every team will go through a period of pressure.
Can't give that, sure.
No. And do you know what? If I was one of the Catalan players, seeing the way that Danny Brough's reacting to the referee, I'd keep saying to them, just keep building the pressure, keep building the pressure.
As Louis Anderson got his first try of the season, he was back home in New Zealand for compassionate reasons at the start of the campaign, but I think he's dropped that ball. Oh, my word!
Wow.
Sacre bleu!
Thierry Alibert, well, he thinks that was a fair try from Louis Anderson. In my opinion, he does everything right, and the Catalan side do. You can just see here the little ball at the line, the little turn-up play, and then all of a sudden Louis Anderson's coming crashing onto that ball.
Where's he got downward pressure?
I'm not so sure, Bill. I'm going to focus and concentrate on the line. It's a straight, hard, direct line. He knows exactly where he needs to be. Leonidas runs straight through the hot gates, collects the ball, and I think we're all agreed he fumbles it, but Monsieur Alibert sees otherwise.
Well, this is a terrific start for the Catalan Dragons, and Bosch will look to add 2 more points. Well, if the Huddersfield Giants were feeling hard done by before that try, they're going to be feeling even worse after it. And Bosk. Gently, nonchalant strike of the ball, and Catalan lead by 12 points to 0.
Well, the defence has been absolutely outstanding in this game in the first half, but they've not conceded less than 32 points in a game this year. They need to keep this up. Good play, they're doing everything right with the ball. As Barry's already said, they've got 4 big men on the bench who can come up. So of Huddersfield, it's going to be a very intriguing battle as the game gets towards the latter stages of the first and the second half.
And we can just see that Earl Crabtree is on.
Iscaray getting away with that. Very nearly made a hash of that restart.
That's the 3rd time they've let a ball bounce, and I'm not saying let as in let it and open the doors to let it bounce. It's just probably too difficult for them to have a committed catch.
Giants trailing 12-0. They've got a great record against the Catalan Dragons. They thrashed them 60-16 at home last season. They've won the last 3 meetings with them, in actual fact. So they should be confident, but they'll just be feeling, well, a little bit hard done by, as I say. But the problems have been, to a certain extent, of their own making. That kick was not a good one. Charge down, and Huddersfield have the ball back.
Well, he did. I was just going to say, you can hear Richard Silverwood saying that was back to 1. Policia was around about the ball and didn't pick it up because he thought he was offside.
He was in an offside position. Correct. When it was kicked. Yep.
Well, this is an opportunity for Huddersfield to redress the balance now. Put the Dragons' defence under a little bit of pressure. Here is Earl Crabtree coming from the bench for the Huddersfield Giants. And Brough now. Grix. Here is Wardle, gets away from one, brought down eventually by his opposite number, Ben Pomeroy. Brough, crossfield kick, looking for McGilvery, finding McGilvery, but that was well weighted by Matthias Palla. Stood his ground, waited for the situation to unfold.
Well, he does everything right, Palla, because when McGilvery gets this ball, we've seen him scatter defences when he's returning the ball, whether it be from a kick return or from close range. So that is good defence, and every time they've been asked questions down near their own try line, they've come up with the answers.
They have. I think Matthias Palla might get some traffic coming down. He hasn't dealt with too many of those kicks. He's preferred to just let them roll the dice and let them bounce, let his opponents catch them and see what happens off the back of that. You can't get away with that all game.
Wardle was pushing his luck there in that previous tackle. The referee called held. And he'll take him back and on the 4th tackle tell Catalan to play the ball. There is Leon Price, 17 seasons in Super League now for Leon Price. And in his 3rd with the Catalan Dragons. Bosk, this time the Catalan kick is a good one, well, in that it goes downfield, but it's straight to Scott Grix. A couple of tries in that slaughter of the Bulls last weekend.
Nice work with the fullback and the winger. McGilvery making himself available for his fullback, and Grix just simply passes the ball on, asks questions of that kick chase team. Means they can't commit to the ball carrier. On this occasion it was Scott Grix. They have to be aware that they might just link up the back 3. Good work from the Giants.
Eleanor on Bellamy,
yeah. Eleanor. They are playing physical.
Brough again drifting across the field and then finding Wardle. Wardle with Broughton outside him, and Wardle takes him on himself and almost gets there. Joe Wardle. Again, desperate defence on that Catalan Dragons right-hand side, denying Joe Wardle for a 2nd time in this game. Wardle is limping in the background. Again, Brough goes across the field, but that kick too strong. Nearly into the swimming pool at that far end of the stade is Gilbert Brutus.
Well, Ben Pomeroy does ever so well to get back and make up for his mistake. There's the kick from Danny Brough, but just too much weight on it.
And I think you could just see on the far side of the pitch there, Joe Wardle. If you look at the top of your picture, I think that's possibly Joe Wardle who's down getting treated.
Yeah, you're right, Bill, it is.
So that's a worry for the Huddersfield Giants.
Well, Bill, the magic man, Fayumu looks about ready to come in. The footwork, the offloads, the intelligence he plays the game with. I love watching this fella play.
And that, I think, is Wardle now limping his way back into the line for the Giants as that kick is a good one into the corner, and Grix comes across.
One, bang, up!
Oldfield makes the tackle with Pomeroy. Now here's Jody Broughton.
Two, Ollie, move!
Luke Robinson sent off on this ground last season for a high shot. A high shot, and the smallest man on the Catalan side, I think it was. You reckon it was Morgan Escaré?
Well, if it was a high shot off Luke Robinson, there must have been a trampoline. He must have had to jump pretty high.
I remember
Not that type of player.
Remember the look on his face when the card was flourished.
I think the look on everyone's face, Bill.
He's not that type of player. Very tough player. And takes a few for his team, playing well. And the half-back partnership of Brough and Robinson has been very good for the Giants this year.
Grix. Here is Brough. Kick into the corner, and it's a good kick. Really close to that whitewash Escaré. And Oldfield. Almost catching one there.
Well, he does well to evade that tackle, but trying to get the ball to the middle of the park, because you can see that when Huddersfield are defending like that, they're very condensed, they're getting off the line, they're talking to each other. And the last thing you want to be doing is taking the ball into 3 or 4 Giants defenders.
Zeb Tyre faced by Luke Robinson. And Lupini Paya is on the field for the Catalan Dragons, the Tongan international, to add his bulk to proceedings. There are the Huddersfield bench is big as well.
Both sets are very big, and it's important when you come onto the pitch and make an impact, you keep up the same momentum as your teammates that's come off.
Bosch again, kicking deep, but that is too strong. It's just going to sit up there. Broughton will bring it back, and does well, Jody Broughton.
And an enthusiastic, energetic chase as well.
Now here comes Grix, and Grix is nailed immediately by Elliot Whitehead in his second season in the southwest of France. Whitehead.
Joe Wardle still looks like he's struggling in back play. He was limping back then. Whether he's got a dead leg.
David O'Sullivan, the Huddersfield physio, just puts his thumb up in the air. He try and run it off. There's no immediate urgency to get him off. But you're right, he looks uncomfortable at best.
Crabtree. Anderson and Pelissier make the tackle. Robinson and Brough will go for a 40-20, will he? Deep kick, but it's straight into the arms of Michael Oldfield.
What about that for a set of 6 from Catalan? I think he only made 20 metres, Huddersfield, with the ball in hand. The forwards were struggling to get behind the ball to bring it forward, so all the energy, all the enthusiasm at the minute seems to be with Catalan.
And that's a reward for a good kick chase. They're straight into good ball, looking to cause some problems. And you talked about impact from the bench. Benjamin Garcia, that's the second good charge that he's took up.
So Catalan leading by 12 points to 0 here, as Ben Pomeroy plays the ball, one of the players who's picked up injuries early in the season for this Catalan side. They've got number out tonight. I think it's 7 who are unavailable, and they've still got a player suspended in Busquet. Grix does well to avoid the first tackle and the second, Grix, but then can't avoid the very busy Eloy Pelissier. Has been very impressive.
Very impressive, but what a pick-up that from Scott Grix. When he looks up, all he can see is 3 players coming towards him, and I think he's took one as well, just on his nose. You see a lot of blood seem to be rushing down, so hopefully Scott Grix will be okay for Huddersfield, because he would be a big loss if he left the park.
Yeah, just see him in the top of the picture there, and Richard Silverwood spotted him as well. Blood.
Blood. Just one word in it, blood and a point.
I think Scott actually knows that he's bleeding. Here's the clash. And here, there's a couple of players that come flying into him, and he gets up, and as soon as he gets up, you can see it. He's got one for the cause, but he won't mind, won't spoil his looks. There you go, the referee. All you got to do is give it a wipe.
Out the back.
Oh, you can see straight
Okay,
away.
off we go. 4.
Can he see?
Oh dear.
I think that's going to be very useful, really, to a full-back, is it? Here is Escaré.
Yeah, you've
Escaré
stopped the
and
blood.
Robinson.
You've stopped the blood, but I'm blindfolded.
Which way do I run? Just point me in the direction.
Here's Zeb Tyre.
Help! Release him!
Zeb Tyre now.
Go.
Pellissier. It's been the Catalan Dragons' first half so far.
3, release, Chase!
3 tackles gone. They lead by 12 points to 0. Here is Lapini Pea.
4, move now, Luke! Go, 4.
Bosk. And here's Benjamin Garcia.
Help! Release 5!
Interesting character, Garcia. Paid his own fare to go to Australia and play for the Nunham Winley Seagulls.
Is this back to 1?
I think it is. I think that was a wave of the arm from referee Richard Silverwood.
And Danny Brough yet again, he's not happy.
Whitehead picked that up off his toes. Having a big
1,
game so far,
release.
Elliot Whitehead.
Line, don't crowd offside.
Referee Silverwood right on the spot, telling him to stay on the line.
Go. Go.
Bosk. Muniz. Greg Muniz, one of the co-captains, is on the field from the bench, and that's a good short ball to this 20-year-old Garcia.
Go line. Go, 2.
Bosk across the field. Price puts the brakes on,
3,
and
release.
Cudjoe makes sure that the brakes stick as well with that tackle.
Go, 3.
Short ball for Anderson. Anderson enthused after scoring that debatable try, which has helped Catalan into this 12-0 lead. He's lost the ball, it's stolen. 2 more
somebody
points,
in the bin?
perhaps.
Is this somebody in the bin,
Were they
Bill?
on a warning?
Yes. I think it's Leroy Cudjoe. Although it could be a Kumatai as well. Yeah, and they're going to take the 2. I think this is a sensible call. We've had a lot of pressure. And a good value for this 12-0 lead. I'm sure the conversation in that box is considerably better this week than it has been in recent weeks.
Laurent Frazinou, David Waite and Sebastian Ragin up there for the Catalan Dragons. Big French influence in the coaching team at Catalan now with Laurent Frazinou. He's got a backroom staff that is mainly French. David Waite in there to lend his experience.
I've always said that when it comes to performances on the park, whoever your coaching staff is, it's down to the players. And I think that what the coaches have tried to do with them this week is strip everything back, get back to basics, get 3 men in the tackle, which they've done the majority of times in this first half, but also just run strong, just hit good lines, turn up for your mate who's carrying the ball at the line, because whether you're the 6 or the 7 or the 9, if you go at the line, that first play is yours. And if something's on, you've got to make sure you take control of the game. Your teammates around you, you push up and create those chances.
The Catalan Dragons, who've been leaking points so far this season, haven't conceded less than 32 in a game. Now have a 14-0 lead after Bosk successfully converts that penalty. It's frustrating, this, for the Giants. They really haven't been allowed to get going in this game.
Not so far, Bill, I think. Says he's right. Catalan are playing a very composed type of rugby, which is frustrating the Huddersfield side, who are known for crash, bang, wallop with some skill and some speed off the back of that.
Bosk with the... sorry, Barry.
I think the credit deserves to go with the Catalan Dragons. I'm sure that when Paul Anderson gets his Giant side into the dressing rooms at half-time, be a couple of things he'd like to tighten up, discipline being one of them.
That Bosk penalty takes him to 499 successful goals in his career.
Off the ball. 1, release now.
And takes the Catalan Dragons into a 14-0 lead. By no means impregnable, though, especially with their defence not being so watertight this season. The Giants haven't found a way through yet, but they've come close.
Help! Release.
Muniz.
3, go.
stalwart of this Catalan side, Greg Muniz. He played in their first ever Super League game, in actual fact. A little nudge there from Jason Chan, I think it was. Referee, let's play continue. Lapini Paya plays the ball. Boss gets the kick away, straight downfield. And Grix, despite the bandage, manages to safely collect that ball. Here he is now.
He's so strong, isn't he? Jermaine McGilvray.
Release now!
Barry featured him last night on warm-up, what exactly he does for his side. For that second play, what sloppy pass. Was there a hand in there from Catalan?
Yes, good spot.
Well, it's not normally like Luke Robinson to come up with a poor pass from dummy half, but that was my first thought. As soon as he's passed that ball and it's gone to ground, I thought there must have been a hand from Catalan.
Okay, guys, let's go. Heads in. Stay close, wait for the outcome. Out!
So Huddersfield, can they close this first half with a positive moment as Brough puts the kick in and Broughton will chase it. Broughton is quick. Back goes Michael Oldfield to gather that ball.
One, Danny, move! Back!
Jody Broughton just had too much ground to make up there. Scored 4 tries for Salford in a game against the Catalan Dragons in 2011. But hasn't had really an opportunity. Pelissier. The crowd not liking that tackle by Akumatai. Felt it was high. Referee saying it was around the shoulder. Here's Lapini Paya.
Garcia really has made an impact for his side. The bench has been good. Mickey Paya, another one of the players off the bench. I just wanted to see that set of 6 unfold. Huddersfield chose to kick directly from the scrum, choosing position over possession, and we'll see how it works out. A good set of 6 from the Dragons, nice and clean. What can Huddersfield do when it's their chance with the ball?
Fairly aimless kick that was from the Dragons, and Huddersfield able to make a bit of ground. Crabtree now. 3 tackles gone. Could do with a penalty, Huddersfield. Chan sent cross-field by this Dragons defence. Here is Cudjoe, comes back infield. But Zeb Tyre is there to make the tackle. That's the 5th tackle. And Brough, little chip kick over the top from Danny Brough, and Whitehead read that superbly well. Good play from Elliot Whitehead. Even better from Whitehead. Great work from the former Bradford man.
Excellent, absolutely excellent. Danny Brough looking for that piece of magic, chipping the ball over the top, but Elliot Whitehead, well, wasn't he aware of the situation then?
And a good return from Whitehead as well has put the Catalan Dragons, or helped put them in this position now. Here's Garcia.
Sorry, Bill, this will be interesting now. How will they finish this off? Will they get another score just before half-time?
Well, that was a pretty aimless kick from Muniz. They were hoping to get the ball back from the goal line dropout, but Broughton just managing to get in the field of play.
I think Catalan have got Huddersfield Giants exactly where they want them.
Could have conceded the penalty there. Do concede the penalty. The whole line, says referee Silverwood. And Danny Brough is still talking, and Richard Silverwood is going to talk to Danny Brough.
Danny, right.
This can't go on. Surely it can't go on.
To 12. End of story.
Well, there you go, Bill. Danny. If you talk to me like that again, you're off.
He's being very tolerant, Richard Silverwood, because he's had it in the ear for basically about the last half hour, hasn't he?
Exactly right.
Very frustrated.
What about this for a run? This was absolutely brilliant. Danny Brough was the man who chipped the ball over, and Elliot Whitehead, well, he was aware of the danger. Tell you what, Bill, they've looked good value in this first half, Catalan.
Hold! Go!
But still an opportunity before the half-time hooter starts for the Catalan Dragons, for Huddersfield Giants rather, to get through this Catalan defence. Not with play like that, Huddersfield. They're just a bit static. Here's Crabtree trying to inject some forward motion.
Elliot, up.
3 tackles gone.
Hold. Go. Greg, not
Boss
strike,
quickly
Greg.
sprinting back to the defensive line. Ferris, Wardle now has looked a threat. He's seemed to have run off that
release
knock.
now.
The physio was right.
Go. 4.
Brough needs to concentrate on keeping his team going forward, not taking on the referee. Here's Cudjoe now. Cudjoe trying to go on the outside.
Last.
That's the 5th tackle.
Move.
Kick coming surely to maybe examine that other side of the field. Grix stabs a kick in, and it's going to be dealt with in the in-goal area. And the Huddersfield chase wasn't up to the best, was it?
But Scott Grix, not the normal kicker, but he does kick for his side, and the reaction wasn't good enough on the Giants' kick chase team, and that's the reason Catalan were allowed to get over and outside that in-goal area. You're right, Bill, they do just look like they're looking round for somebody else to do something, some spark.
Go. 3.
Well, the man who normally does it is having a run-in continuously with the referee. So maybe if he takes that battle away from being personal with the referee or getting frustration, maybe Huddersfield will come up with something.
Meanwhile, it's Catalan coming forward with Morgan Escaré. Escaré has Grix to take on. He'll have the legs of him. He will have the legs of him. But McGilvray, superb defence. McGilvray managing to get back. The hooter sounding. Huddersfield were all offside. It'll be a penalty to the Catalan Dragons.
Well, it's got to be 2 points. What about the break from Morgan Escaré?
What about the chase from McGilvray?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 2 set to play, defensive play from McGilvray and an attacking play from Morgan Escaré.
It was like a Formula 1 racing car, Escaré, when he got hold of that ball. And you think, for all money he's got on the line, and McGilvray just manages to snub out the threat and still has the presence of mind to know that he's just near the edge of the cliff, near the try line, and needs to then make sure that Morgan Escaré doesn't get the ball down.
He's scored 6 tries this season, but he's saved one there for the Huddersfield Giants, Jermaine McGilvray. It still could cost them 2 points, but looked like being a lot more expensive when it was Zeb Tyre who initially made that break, and Escaré was in support. And now Thomas Bosk. 500 goals this will be if he can land it. The most difficult kick he's faced this evening. Bit of movement from the Giants there, but Bosk keeping his focus on that ball. Catalan at half-time. Oh, and Bosk has pushed that one wide of the target. It was the last kick of the first 40 minutes that's been very encouraging for the under-pressure Catalan Dragons, without a win so far this season. But at half-time against the Huddersfield Giants, Catalan are leading by 14 points to 0.